What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang coming to you live right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Hey, man, this is the third year getting kicked off tonight of the Rubbin' and Grubbin' season. NASCAR stuff, man. Absolutely love it. Want to give a big thanks out there again to John and Adele Henderson, Lawrence Bennett, everybody involved here at Coaches and promoting the show and doing their thing, man. Absolutely love y'all. Thank y'all very much, man. So got a lot to talk about tonight. Man, we're getting ready to kick off the biggest race in NASCAR, the Great American Race at Daytona 500. Man, I tell you what, it doesn't get any bigger than this, man. So got a lot to go over. But moving right in, going to start it out with the word of the day. If you've never tuned into the show before, basically the way we started out is Lawrence is going to throw a word up here somewhere. Every time I say that word tonight, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. As I always say, age appropriate. Doesn't matter if you're under the age of 21, get some Kool-Aid, sweet tea, anything with sugar. Stay up super late. Do your thing. Give it hell on a Wednesday, man. Got school tomorrow. So moving right in, let's see. Last week's word was, let's see, clash. So leading up to that famous Bushlight clash at the Coliseum, I know I've absolutely had to say that quite a few times. Hey, if you played along, probably had a pretty good buzz. So there again, tonight's word is going to be, I have no idea what it is, but every time I say that word, make sure you take a sip of your favorite adult beverage, and kids, make sure you get sugared up, man. Hey. Oh, swear bucket. Say what? Oh, did I say hell? Oh, man. All right, starting it out, swear bucket. We'll get to that in just a little bit, man. So moving right into some NASCAR news, man. We're going to start it out with a little piece of bad news. Want to give my condolences and prayers out to the Scott family. Wendell Scott Jr. passed. Let's see, I was on the cruise or during last week sometime, man. Big staple there in Wendell Scott's race team, and not only that, was a good mentor and good friend to Bubba Wallace, man. Hate to lose that piece of our NASCAR family. And like I said, condolences from the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew out there to the family. Thoughts and prayers are with y'all, man. So moving right in, want to give a big shout out. My favorite part of the show tonight, got to give a big birthday shout out to my Meemaw Phyllis. She passed. Her birthday was the 12th. She passed last year. Huge Dale Jarrett fan. Hence the shirt. I'm wearing it for her tonight. Hopefully it brings me a little bit of luck, man. But I tell you what a good woman she was, strong woman she was, man. Raised 3 boys, and on top of that, man, she even did a little bit of racing herself there for a while. So I got a thing I'm going to send up. If you hadn't, check out our YouTube. It's going to pop up on there. Lawrence is going to throw it in there, man. But back in 1952, my grandfather and one of his friends raced. Well, intermission in between heat races, or basically a halftime, if you will. My grandma and another lady used to get strapped to the hoods of cars. There was a brick wall set on fire, and they drove my grandma and this lady through a wall of fire. So it's definitely something to check out. Pretty cool for 1952, and kind of hence why all the boys turned out the way that they turned out, man. But love you, Meemaw Phyllis. Miss you. Always with us, man. So more NASCAR news. Bam, man. Joey Logano wins the first ever Bushlight class at the Coliseum. I tell you, it's a good way to get the season started. Nobody kind of knew what we were getting into with it. Put on a pretty good race there, and 22 made a late move on one of the restarts there and got out there and did his thing, man. So congrats out there to Joey Logano. And while we're on that, bigger congratulations to Joey. Got a little girl finally. Got 2 boys, and they just had another baby. So big congratulations out there on that, Joey. You know, I know you can say winning championships are great and this and that, but nothing beats being a father, man, for sure. So there again, congratulations out there from the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew, y'all. So here we go, getting it started out. Last night, we can kind of say if that was the start to a regular season, had some practice there at Daytona. Michael McDowell led the first practice with the fastest time, and then if you watched any of it, the second one you saw those Penske cars and Penske-affiliated car kind of hook up towards the end, and Ryan Blaney ended up fast. And I tell you, the speeds that are coming out of these cars right now, 192, almost 193 average, means a lot to me, man. That's pretty fast, pretty good for not having any information to go off of other than a little bit of testing here and there. I tell you, the speeds are going to only climb as we go on throughout. So I think NASCAR did a really good thing. They got a good car so far. We're going to see how it races this Sunday coming up. But I tell you what, man, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Lawrence is giving me the blue ovals, man. I got one on tonight, but I bet him $1 says the bow tie takes the pole tonight. Guaranteed bow tie is going to be on the pole tonight. But, yeah, and leading right into that, got qualifying here tonight. There again, it's going to be swapped up a little bit different from what we've seen in years past. We're used to Daytona qualifying pretty much being single car, one round, bam, first and second place. Positions are set for the 500. There's no need for them to race in tomorrow night's qualifying races if they don't want to. So at the end of the day, we're going to find out tonight. Now, the difference is we're going to run 2 rounds tonight. So you're going to have all 42 cars that are trying to qualify for the 500 qualify. The top 10 fastest cars out of those are going to run a second lap. First and second fastest out of that will set the front row for the Daytona 500 coming up this Sunday. So there again, a little bit different. NASCAR throwing a couple different things back in there, but I think it's going to be good. So we're going to have to wait and see. As I alluded to, tomorrow night, those all-important 125s, and I don't think it's ever been more important to not wreck a race car in these races or tonight than it has been in years past. Like, tonight is the night. Like, we're in a part shortage. A lot of these teams weren't able to bring backup cars. So there again, in these 125s going for it to make the 500, I think if you've got a solid starting place and you're in it, that's the main thing. You've got to be in it to win it. If you go too hard and you wreck out and you wreck equipment, that's going to be kind of the end of your Daytona run there. So a little bit different, but I expect very exciting racing. I think that what we're going to see at the beginning of this year is going to be a little rewind of years past. We're going to rewind the clock maybe 10 years or so. We'll go back to where the tandem racing came in at Daytona. You're going to see that late in these races, guaranteed. And there again, if you watched any of it last night, the skew of the car is out there. Those rear ends are kicked out. I think it's something maybe NASCAR is going to try to fix a little bit. I'm not sure yet. It doesn't bother me. It looks a little weird coming down straight when it's turned a little bit, but that's to get the grip and the turns that they need, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do, how this transforms into this next-gen car and what we grow with. But looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome qualifying night tonight. It's going to be awesome races tomorrow, and what an even better 500 it's going to end up being, man. So there again, like I said, congrats to Joey Logano and wife Brittany on their third baby, first girl. You're going to hold that one dear to your heart, brother. Happy birthday to Bad Brad Keselowski, man. Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, probably leading driver in that 6 car this year. I tell you what, had a birthday there last week or this past weekend. Getting up there a little bit, but man, he's still hungry, and I think that is going to be somebody you really need to look out for here coming up. If you've watched Brad through his career, he knows how to get it done on this style of racing. We're not going to call it restrictor plate anymore. We've kind of outgrown that, but pack racing, we'll call it that. A little pack racing, drafting. He knows how to manipulate the draft and get to where he needs to be. We've seen him do it before, so let's see if he can go out and get it done again. But happy birthday out there to Brad, man. So former 500 Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain got him a ride over there at Gibbs Racing, man. So pretty neat deal with Kyle Busch kind of officially retiring out of the Xfinity Series. Not going to run any of those after he hit it 100 whatever he hit in his career, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But either way, going to step it down and leave that seat open for some younger talent. And Trevor Bain, man, coming back. He said it was the biggest surprise to him as it was to everybody else. There again, former Daytona 500 winner for the Wood brothers there. I think the kid's got a lot of talent. I think he might have moved up a little too quick. We're going to see maybe if he can have a resurgence of his career and bring it back up, man, and maybe end up with a cup ride at some point in time next couple of years or so. We'll just have to see what he does. But good luck out there to Trevor. And no, there's no relation there. My last name spelled totally different than his, man. So, but good luck to you, brother. A Bain's a Bain at the end of the day, man. So we're going to pause right here for station identification on Coach's Corner Sports Network. I got a tall boy right here I got to get me a slug of, man. But hope you guys are having a good time. And again, thank you for tuning in to Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Cheers, y'all. All right. Hey, Grand Marshal for the race coming up. NASCAR always loves to pull some talent from some other sports or actors or actresses or big names. Charles Woodson, man. Going to be the Grand Marshal for the 500. Think that is awesome. I mean, what a better guy. I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing, man. On the football field, we're going to see if he can get these guys lined up and give the command as good as he played on that football field, man. But, hey, Charles Woodson, big name. NASCAR never ceases to amaze, man. Continues with that. NASCAR also, while we're talking about it this week, came out with some more big news, man. They created a driver advisory council. So Jeff Burton's going to be the head of it. There's quite a few other good drivers that are on there, diverse. not like a players association in a way. It is, but it's not. It's just going to give drivers a voice in between, whether it's sitting down with track presidents, team owners, sponsorship, a lot of different ways to get the drivers' voices heard other than them just complaining and, you know, talking about it. I mean, we all know NASCAR is its own sandbox. They own it. It's their sandbox. If you don't like the rules, go somewhere else. But I think this is going to kind of help progress the drivers' voices and maybe directions that the sport needs to head or safety needs to head or things that can be changed up in race that are going to help the drivers and help NASCAR as a whole put on a better show for the fans out there. So I think it's a great move, and it's about time they finally got something like that lined out and agree to it. So it's going to be an awesome deal there, man. So want to let you guys know, if you haven't yet, please go out, like, share, follow all our social media out there. Lawrence does a great job with our YouTube channel, man. He throws in some tidbits, adds some stuff there. You can go check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to that. We're getting up there, man. We had a good amount of views last week for that. We're going to try to beat that this week. Hopefully we do. Don't know. But let's get those subscriber numbers up. If you've been watching the show, you know what we do here. We try to raise money for charities. I get to talk a little NASCAR, drink a little beer, but at the end of the day, man, we're raising money for good causes that all stays local right here in the Savannah, Georgia area, man. So there again, more subscribers we get, more eyes we get on it, hopefully the more money we raise for the charities and the causes that we're involved in, man. That's what it's all about. But like I said, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, check us out. You can even check us live right here on Coach's Corner Facebook page every Wednesday, 6 until I run out of breath or run out of words, one of the two, which I haven't run out of breath ever, and I don't think I will. I do run out of words, but hey, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, like, share, follow, all of it, man. So there again, Thad Moffitt, man, grandson of Richard Petty, the king himself, is going to be running in a Truck Series race there at Daytona. And the cool thing about that is he's going to get to carry Grandpa's famous Petty blue paint scheme, that STP paint scheme. I think that is a big deal to keep that around. I mean, Richard is still involved in the sport, and as long as the king's still involved, man, that paint scheme's got to pop up at least a few times a year. You got to pay homage to one of the best, if not the best, in some people's eyes to ever do it. So there again, man, I think that's cool. I think it's really neat that there again, a grandson is getting to carry on a legacy throughout the Petty family. Might not have the Petty last name, but he's got some Petty blood in him, man. So hey, let's let this man Thad go out there and win it for Grandpa, man. That'd be awesome, man. It's official. Greg Biffle coming back for the Daytona 500, man, in the 44 Grambling sponsor, Grambling State University sponsored Chevrolet, man. Bow tie. You hear that? Chevrolet, New York Racing, and he's affiliated with Richard Childress Racing for the car. A graduate of Grambling, the guy that owns that company or runs that company. So I think that's a big move. Glad to see some other sponsors coming in, especially a historic college out there like Grambling. And you got a good driver, man. Greg Biffle knows what he's doing. There again, in 20, I think he raced a truck race, finished like 19th, not too good. But in 19, when he hopped in a good piece of equipment at Kyle Busch Motorsports, the man won the race. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to get it done. If he puts himself in the right place at the right time with a friend, at the end of the race, man, who knows? 44 car could come home victorious, man. Nothing surprises me at Daytona and at Talladega. So big cheers and shout out right there for Greg Biffle, man. That's awesome. So moving right into pretty much one of my favorite parts of the show. My favorite tonight was my grandma. This is usually my favorite, but it's going to be the second tonight. Man, the checkered flag for charity. And let me tell you, I just want to give a big shout out and thanks to Lawrence Bennett, my producer, Reed Bennett, JB, everybody up here at Coach's Corner, John Henderson, Adele, all the staff, man. We did what we like to call a cooler full of joy. It's for Payson Thompson, a really good friend of mine, and one of my wife's really good friends passed away suddenly, and she left behind a daughter. So what we're doing up here for a while for the checkered flag for charity is we're going to raise money for an educational fund for Payson as she gets older to help that family out in a time of need. Like I told you, this is what we do at Coach's. It's local. It stays local. We find somebody that needs it, and we help, man. So, and thanks to everybody, all the patrons out there. I'm getting ready to drop a number, and it was a pretty good show on a cooler full of joy, man. So $632 is what we raised, in a major part to Reed and him devoting his time and going out here and selling those tickets, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for that, man. $632 we're throwing right in on top of everything else, man. And if you guys know how this works, basically what we do is every single week, whatever car number wins that race, we donate that into our swear bucket, which is our checker flag for charity. There again, Pace and Thompson, definitely going to a good cause, man. So Joey Logano won that race. So that's $22 right there, man. We're throwing in that bucket to add to that. That's going to bring that total up to $654, and we hadn't even raced anything but one race yet, man. So that is awesome. Awesome stuff. And all of that is possible, like I said, thanks to the patrons, the Coach's Corner, and everybody that turned out, everybody that got involved in that raffle for that cooler. That money is raised because of y'all. And I don't think there's any better feeling than to know that we live in a city in the crazy times that we live in are willing to give some money to a great cause and, you know, try to win a cooler full of alcohol. I mean, it's a win-win situation. Regardless if you won or not, I know your heart was in it, and thank y'all very much for that, man. So, following that, want to give a big shout out to Parker Eccles. That's one of my main sponsors outside of coaches. That's my brother right there. Big part of what we do at Rubbin' and Grubbin'. We got a lot of other charity stuff that we're going to be doing here throughout the spring and the summertime up here at Coaches. And a lot of that is possible because of Parker over there at Arbor Man and John and Adele Henderson and all the partners as well here at Coaches Corner, man. So I tell you what, like I always say, tree service, locally owned, locally operated. Parker's a great guy. If you ever need anything, it doesn't matter if it's estimate, tree trimming, limbs cut back, stump grinding, whatever it is, man. You just want to, you know, somebody in the expertise of giving you a word on what you should do. Definitely give Parker Eccles a call, man. You're going to see that number for Arbor Man rolling down there at the bottom of the screen. It's always up there every single Wednesday. Like I said, big part of what we do here on Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Big part of me and my family, man. Parker, I love you, brother. We only got about 34 days, man, before we're in Atlanta, and I can't wait to have some time, man, to reminisce and relax, brother. But I love you, man. Thank you for what you do. Now we're going. Ford. Say what?
Parker drives a Ford.
He drives Ford. Yeah, he's probably a Ford man. I don't know. I hadn't even asked him who his favorite driver is. That'd be great to know. I mean, hell, you know, we might be friends. We might have been best friends growing up, man. We might have grown up since knee-high to a grasshopper, but at the end of the day, you better jump on that 9 bandwagon, man. You better be rooting for that Georgia boy, Mr. Chase Bulldog Elliott himself, man. That's a new nickname, by the way. You're going to hear me call Chase Elliott Bulldog quite a lot this year, man. That's Chase Bulldog Elliott. Pause. Station identification, Coach's Corner Sports Network, y'all. All right. Moving right into the who's hot and who's not. We're going to kick it off with the who's hot. It wouldn't be right if I didn't start it out with Joey Logano. I mean, obviously, he went into the Coliseum, one-in-a-lifetime experience. I know that NASCAR slated maybe for the next 3 to 4 years to run that same race in the Coliseum if they want. A lot of talk's been about it being out there in NFL stadiums. There's a lot of conflicting scheduling that goes on and all of that to make that happen. So LA Coliseum seems like a great place. I think that NASCAR did a good job on that. But there again, Joey Logano won something that nobody's ever going to be able to take away from him. He won the first race ever ran in the car, the next-gen car. Excuse me, I'm just supposed to call it a car tomorrow. That's way done. Next-gen car, won the first race ever in the next-gen car. And on top of that, won the first race ever held in the LA Coliseum. And there's a lot of history in that Coliseum. And now he just became a part of it, man. So, like I said, Joey Logano got to go down as number one as the first guy in that who's hot list, man. So big congrats there again to Joey, and we're going to see if he can do it again this week at Daytona or if it's going to be somebody new, but don't have long to wait. But big shout out to Joey on that, man. So something else I wanted to touch base on was going to be NASCAR schedule. So if you've been watching the sport for about the last 3 years since the pandemic hit, man, really honestly, NASCAR schedule has been crazy. It was the first sport ever to come back from the pandemic. I mean, hockey was shut down, football was shut down, soccer was shut down, horse race, everything was shut down. NASCAR found a way to bring it back. No fans in the stands, no fans on the infield. I mean, a lot of strict things that they did, and they went out on a whim hoping that it would work, and to me it worked. They did middle of the week races. They did back-to-back races on the weekends. They went to a lot of tracks over the past couple years they normally wouldn't have. They took dates away here and moved it here. States that were open, we went and raced in, man. So this is the first year since the pandemic that NASCAR actually has a set schedule that they're going to be set to. So I give big congrats out there again to NASCAR and what they've done. The only gripe I'm going to have about it, one, there's no Brickyard 400, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. No race at Indianapolis on the true, tried Indianapolis track. That's ridiculous. And two, too many damn road courses, man. I'm telling you, 6 or however many we got, 7 again. I don't know how many we got on the schedule. I hadn't really even looked at it. 4. 4 is a great number. 4. And you can change all 4 every 2 years, or you can change 2 of them every 5 years. I don't care what you do. But 4 is a great number to leave it at, man. Not 7, not 8, not 10, 4. But like I said, big shout out to them for the schedule and getting it set. They have come back strong. They have done things that they got to do that no other sport did, other than, you know, we saw it in the World Series being played in 2 different places that year and different things like that. But at the end of the day, NASCAR did a great job. I'm always going to pat them on the back for what they do. Always going to put them down when I feel like they're doing something wrong. But the schedule is great. We're set. We're ready. Sunday, man, Daytona 500. Cannot wait for it. So that wraps it up for the Who's Hot, and now we get in my other favorite part, the Who's Not, which I get to kind of gripe about some stuff a little bit. And I don't want anybody to take too much of offense to this. I'm not necessarily downing people that race on dirt or dirt racers. What I'm downing is people in general that down NASCAR, right? So I've seen, I don't know for how many years, there are so many people that just gripe and complain and bitch. Excuse me. About NASCAR and the style of racing, and dirt's where it's at, and dirt's this and dirt's that, and dirt, you know what, dirt racing is awesome. I'm a race fan. I love racing. Doesn't matter if it's people, if it's horses, if it's cars, if it's bikes, if it's tricycles, if it's turtles, crabs.
Move it. Could you be any slower?
I don't care. I like racing, man. So at the end of the day, I don't down any other form of racing. I hold NASCAR on a pedestal. I think NASCAR is the best form of racing there is out there. And here's some statistical reasons why. I don't know how many dirt racers out there that are signed to multi-million-dollar racing deals. I don't know how many guys out there that own dirt teams are multi-million-dollar, $100 million plus race team owners that they are worth. I just don't know. I mean, look, if you want to break it down and be real, Steve Kinser came into NASCAR, raced 5 races, never could get it figured out. A lot of dirt guys have come into NASCAR and tried to race NASCAR and can't get it figured out. But the one thing to be said is NASCAR is the big boys. That's where dirt racers go to be big boys and race against the big boys. So at the end of the day, NASCAR is as good as it gets. I love dirt. I love everything else. At the end of the day, what I'm telling you is to me, NASCAR, creme de la creme, it's here. Dirt racers go to NASCAR to make the big bucks, man. So there again, as we see Kyle Larson, defending champion, last year's champion, loves to race dirt. He goes out and races his dirt, but he knows where that bread and that butter is, and that's in NASCAR to make them big paychecks. So at the end of the day, like I said, NASCAR, I'm not going to down dirt. I'm not going to down Formula One because everybody's going to say something about Formula One and what it costs to run Formula One and the contracts they make, the money they make. That is awesome, but it's a different kind of racing. I don't down it. I love NASCAR, man. I love dirt. I love Formula One. I'll watch it. It doesn't matter to me. But what I'm basically getting to is if you are not a fan of NASCAR, don't feel like you got a reason or a right to gripe about it. Just don't watch it, man. But don't comment it on either. I mean, that's all there is to it, man. Throw that one away. So moving right into it, now I got to call out a guy I just talked to, and it's going to hurt my feelings, man. I got to call out Kyle, a.k.a. Young Money, my nickname for him, Kyle the Martian Larson, because he's out of the world. I got to call him out, man, for taking Justin Haley out, man. I got to call you out on that. That was kind of a teammate issue there that happened. Tough racing on a quarter-mile racetrack, slow speeds. Man, look, Byron, if you watched it, Byron got into the back of Haley. Haley washed up, got into Larson. Larson didn't like it, drove his ass all the way down to the inside wall, took his ass out. So I got to give you a little bad props, and I'm sure after Kyle Larson actually saw the whole incident and what went on, I'm sure he's reached out and apologized. I'm sure he said he's sorry. But at the end of the day, man, he's a rookie, a full-time schedule now. We've seen that name, and we've seen him actually win a Cup Series race at Daytona, rained out in the summer, all right? The man is a winning Cup Series driver, just never ran a full schedule. He's a rookie this year. Got to cut him a little bit of break, man. Got to get that respect out there, but I think it was kind of a bad form on Kyle Larson. But there again, it's a racing deal, man. I'm not mad at him. I just got to call him out on it. So nobody's safe on the Who's Not list, man. If you do wrong, you're going to get called out, other than maybe one guy, and I don't have the shirt or the hat on tonight. But you can do whatever wrong you want. You're always going to be good in my eyes, brother. But, yeah, so moving right on from that, man, we're going to get into another section. This is added actually in new this year, the hard right turn. So there again, it's just kind of something I get to talk about. And basically what it comes down to is the race at the Coliseum, man. Almost a sellout crowd of 50,000. We had 4.3 million views eyes on that race. Last year's Daytona 500 had 4.8. So that puts in perspective how much that class grew. It was like 3 times or 2 times the amount of people that tuned in the class last year at Daytona. And it brings me to what NASCAR wanted to accomplish through that and what we talked about on the show. They wanted to get new eyes, new sponsorship, new people involved, and they really did. They did a great job of it. You know, we can't lose all the old fans, but we have to continue to bring in new fans. I think between what they did at the racing, I think that what they did with the entertainment side of it, everything was absolutely amazing, man. And hopefully that's what they needed to propel the sport back towards the heyday, man. Those mid-later 90s, early 2000s. Hopefully that's what it needed. It was a shot in the arm, man, to get it back rolling. But I tell you what, they did a really great job orchestrating that from start to finish. The boxes are being checked, views, everything, man, coming in. So that's the hard right turn. I think NASCAR is doing a great job. We're going to see. I know the Daytona 500 is completely sold out. That's big news right there. So we're going to see if this continues to happen throughout the sport and we gain more popularity, more of these racetracks continue to sell out or get more crowds than what they have in years past, man. That's what I'm looking for. So before we get into the Daytona 500 preview, pause, station identification right here on Coach's Corner Sports Network. I'm almost finished up with this. I'm going to try to save one sip for the show on the way out. All right. So it's time, man. Football got the Super Bowl. Baseball got the World Series. Horse racing got, I don't know, the Triple Crown, 3 different big races. NASCAR's got Daytona. So unlike any other sport, we don't play all season long to get down to the biggest race. We're going to start the season out with the biggest race. This is the biggest purse money race we have all year long. If you make this race, you are guaranteed to make some money, man. So that's why it is such a big deal. I tell you what, an amazing track they have at Daytona International Speedway there. So much history has been made just in my era. I can only imagine the eras before me. That is a place where history and legends are born right there at Daytona, man. 2.5, a little shorter than that, mile track, man. 31-degree banking through those turns. I'm telling you right now, with this new car, we don't know what this thing is going to do. We have no idea. I said, I think it rewinds the clock maybe 10 years. We go back a little bit further, the way the cars are skewed, the way that they're racing them, it seems like. You're going to see some tandem at some point in time out there. It's going to be probably towards the ends of the race, but you're going to see some of that out there, man. I say with the last 4 to 5 to go, maybe you're going to start seeing some 2-car teams, maybe 3, I don't know, but you're definitely going to see a lot of 2-car setups starting to make a run to go and get out front, man. So it's going to be interesting. You can always count on the big one. It's going to happen, especially in the new car, but ready, super stoked. Sunday, 3:07, 3:08, I think, green flag, right around 3 o'clock. Cover starts at 2. Make sure you tune in, man, to the Daytona 500, man. But we're going to give it out here, right here, my top 5. I hadn't really been right in the one race. I mean, I had Logano in the top 5. He just wasn't in the right place. He was 5th instead of 1st. So we're going to try to call it out, and we can only go off of what we know and statistically have seen over the years. Probably going to throw maybe 1 or 2 guys in here, take a couple guys out. Don't really know, but top 5 looks like this, man. I got to go with some speed that I've seen in practice. I put Joey Logano as number 1, man. Going out here and getting this 500, it's a Ford, I know. And I know there's some other guys out there, but I'm telling you, it seems like Logano has some stuff figured out outside of Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin. Probably one of the best restrictor plate racers I've ever seen in my life. He's got a knack for pushing. He's got a knack for being out front, for blocking. I don't know if any of that's going to relate to what we're doing this year with the next-gen car, but we're going to find out. I had to put him. He won at the Clash. We're going to something totally opposite, but I'll take him again, man. Joey Logano, my pick to win the 500. 2, can't leave this guy too far down the list. That's got to be 11 to Denny Hamlin. There again, knows exactly what he's doing, knows how to put himself in position at the end of the race, knows how to stay clean throughout the race. Wouldn't surprise me there again if he went out and won it too, man. I mean, the list is tight between the 5, but can't leave Denny out there. We'll see if he can go out and get, what would that be, a 3rd, 4th, 500 win, something like that, 5th 500 win. Hell, I don't know. He won too many damn 500s already, man. Number 3, Georgia grown, Georgia bred, Chase, the Bulldog Elliott. I got to put him in at 3. He has not won the 500 yet. I feel like it's time. This year could be the year. I'm never going to bet against the Georgia boy. I absolutely love him. That's my favorite driver, man. I think he's absolutely awesome. Great amount of talent. I look for him to rebound a little stronger this year than last year. And like I said, be on the lookout. Number 9, Chase Elliott, to go out and win this Daytona 500. 4 for me, a guy that a lot of people sleep on. There again, he's won a lot of restrictor plate in his short career. That's going to be Ryan Blaney, man. The guy there again knows how to see it, knows how to run, knows how to block, knows how to push, know when it's time to go, when it's time to ease up, keeping the nose clean, staying out of trouble. Barring all that, I think Ryan Blaney will be right there at the end and have just as good a shot as anybody else, man. 5, man, it's a guy I don't even really like putting on the list, but he's such a good talent, man, and he's won everything out there other than a Daytona 500, and that is Mr. Candyman himself, Kyle Busch. Couldn't leave him off the list. He hadn't won a 500. He's due. I don't want to make anybody mad, but, you know, a couple of us in here really love Kyle Busch. Me, not so much. I think he's a great talent, just not my cup of tea when it comes to a driver. But he does make the list at number 5. Be on the lookout for him. So, dark horses. We all know Brad Keselowski switched over to the 6 car. He's got to be on a dark horse. We've seen Ryan Newman run up front before that bad accident he had. We've seen Chris Buescher be up there. We've seen Roush have good equipment a couple years, just not get the good finishes that they deserve. So I think now with a guy like Brad Keselowski and the understanding that he has on restrictor plates, he could put that car in victory lane right off the bat. That would be leaps and bounds for what Roush has done here in the last 4 or 5 years, man. So be on the lookout for that 6 car, Brad Keselowski. And another one I'm going to put on the shout out right here, William Byron knows how to go and get it done. Very good young race car driver. But the one sleeper that is out here, if he can stay patient and not let his youth show a sign, Noah Gregson. If Noah Gregson can go out here and put himself in a position late in that race to win this race, I think he can go out and get it done, man. That's another guy to be on the lookout. I like Noah Gregson. That's probably my favorite driver in the Xfinity Series as he was coming up. He's aggressive. He doesn't bite his tongue. He gets a little crazy. But at the end of the day, I think he's a great talent. Be on the lookout for him in the next 4 to 5 years in the Cup Series as well, man. That's a good talent there. So moving right into the money bet, another new segment of the show, man. We're going to put a little money on somebody. I took 25 on Denny Hamlin last week because I like the odds. He broke. Finished dead last in the clash. I hated that, so we're in the hole, all right? We're starting out in the hole, man. But with all that being said, I think we're coming back to another one right here. We're going to throw it out there. I said it's not my favorite race car driver, but I like the odds that he's sitting at. I think maybe it's time for him to go out and get this last little box check. He's got the championship. He's got the Brickyard. He's got every other crown jewel. Kyle Busch, man, 15-1 odds. We'll put 25 bucks on him. We'll see if we can't bring it home. If not, we're starting 2 races in the hole pretty good, which I don't like. But it's going to take 5, 6, 7, 8 races, maybe 10 before we start figuring out who's got what out here in this next-gen car. And it's Daytona, man. Anybody can win this race, honestly. Anybody can win this. But I'll take Kyle Busch at 15-1 with that $25 bet this week, man. So there again, want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that tunes in to Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Thank you guys so much, man. Means the world to me. Like I said, like, share, follow all our social media. Check us out specifically on the YouTube channel, man. That's our pride and joy. That's LB's baby right there. Does a great job. You can check that out. Usually Sunday mornings he'll have it up. Sometimes Saturday night, but usually Sunday morning. He's got a lot going on. Busy man. But I want to give a big shout out to all those coaches' shows, man. Coach Carl DeMasi. Probably one of the greatest guys ever, man, doing his sports report right here live from Coaches, man. Make sure you tune into that. We got the 19th hole coming up in April for the Masters with the brothers. Those boys right there are crazy. I'm going to make a guest appearance on that show because I'm trying to pick some golfers as well, man. And they make guest appearances on me. I got to come out and show the love and support them as well. And last but not least, I do have to give these guys a big shout out to Travis and Spencer over there on Hot Grits. Lawrence listened a little bit upset with me because I hadn't been shouting them out the past couple of weeks. Hell, man, it's been so long since I seen you. I didn't even know you were still doing the damn show, man. That's my own damn fault. There's a couple more swear dollars to get rid of all of it that I got tonight. But big shout out to Travis and Spencer out there. Check out Hot Grits Podcast anywhere that you listen to your podcast, man. Those guys are hilarious, breaking down everything in sports, and they do some fun stuff, man. And Travis, I did see Travis a couple months back, but Spencer, man, I mean, you might as well call him Jimmy Hoffa because I ain't seen him since he left last, man. But I hope to see him again. I know we'll put on some charity events this year, and they know it's nothing but love, man. Love you guys. A little bit off on my Super Bowl picks, by the way, fellas. I apologize about that. But there again, coming up this Sunday, we're right back at it. Green, white, checkered, PJ Zuko and myself, 9 to 9:30 every single Sunday morning, 104.3 ESPN Coastal. You can check it out on their Facebook as well, ESPN Coastal Facebook page. I look so forward to getting back in with this with PJ, man. There's a lot of news that happened from Wednesday to Sunday, a little bit more structured. Love being out there on the radio, and PJ is very knowledgeable about racing as well, so we do bounce stuff back and forth about each other, man. But I tell you what, awesome dude. Like I said, green, white, checkered every Sunday, 9 to 9:30, ESPN 104.3. Make sure you tune in, check that out, man. Hey, till next time, hope everybody out there is having a great Wednesday. Thank you guys for tuning in to Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Love y'all, and as always, man. Oh, we're looking for it. There it is. Till next time. Wash your hands, y'all.
Grubbin next week.
Grubbin next week. Hey, yeah, forgot to say that. Kitchen's down. If you're local, you know Kitchen's down to Coaches. John's doing some upgrades back there, getting a remodel a little bit. It's going to be beautiful. Food's going to be just as good as it always is. Opens back up tomorrow, right? Back up tomorrow, man. So come out, support Coaches, eat the food. Like I said, love y'all, man.